The wrap, round 7. Welcome to Harris Street Reserve here on a Monday evening. Carlos Del Rio with Simon Morgan making a comeback tonight. Thanks for showing up, Simo, tonight. Thank you to Timmy White for helping out last week, and I'm sure we'll have Timmy again to break down some of the season as well. Maybe I see the way one of these days. I reckon it's my turn to have a rest.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. Anyway, round 7, getting straight into it. It's sort of the halfway mark of the season, Simo. Just about the halfway mark for the season, so still a lot of soccer to be played. But first of all, we'll talk about the juniors competition, under 15s.
Under 15s, so we had 2 games over the weekend, and we'll start off with the fixture here at Harris Street Reserve between the Merri Stingrays and the Hamilton Raiders. That game at the half was 1-0 to the Hamilton side, travelling team, and at the full-time whistle, Hamilton holding on to that lead, actually extending it, and the final score being 3-1. Goal scorers for that game, a hat-trick hero emerged in Riley Pickering, picking up all 3 goals for Hamilton, and for the Merri Stingrays, the lone goal scorer, Awal Malek. Best on ground for the Hamilton team. Can't go past Riley Pickering with that hat-trick. Nathan Caspers and Tom Hiscock mentioned as best for the travelling team. For the Merri Stingrays, best on ground, we had Kane Ackley, Geva Atzili, and again Awal Malik picking up the only goal for that team.
No worries. So we got a bit of a footage of the game going on at the moment, Simo, but that win consolidated Hamilton's top of the table position with this particular. The Stingrays and the Raiders were neck to neck before they met back in Hamilton round 4.
Yep.
And obviously round 5, Hamilton came here to Harris Street and got their second win against the Stingrays, which has consolidated their top position for the league. So congratulations, Hamilton. You've with 1 round to go, they've taken over and won the League 1. League 2 continues next term, but hopefully all the other teams are looking forward to that competition as well. Just as a reminder, the finals will actually be played between the winners of League 1 and League 2, unless they're the same team. Then we'll have a semi-final to see who's going to beat them. But in saying that, Riley Pickering, fantastic effort, 3 goals. Led his team. I think he was the captain of the team as well. Very good. The captain for the Stingrays was Cameron Jennings again, playing a magnificent role in goals, but it wasn't to be his day in the end, with 3 goals being scored by Hamilton. So congratulations, boys. We move on to the next round, the next game, that was played at
Scott's
Creek.
Yeah, good to see some under 15s over in Scott's Creek, and in that encounter, we had a win to the travelling team, the Jetty Flat Rangers, picking up a win against the Scotts Creek Lions. I think the last time they played it was quite a broad scoreline, but this time round it's very nice to see that we have, a closer scoreline. Jetty Flat Rangers picking up goals through Hartley Russell and Fraser Maris, both scoring 2 each, and singles to Lucas Essenwanger, Keith Russell and Matthew Ray. For Scotts Creek, we had another hat-trick hero. Unfortunately, wasn't enough to give them a win, but young Seb Hume picking up 3 goals for his team. Best on ground for Scotts Creek Lions, of course, Seb Hume picking up those 3 goals, as well as Nicholas Coronius and Tom Marwood. For G Flat, best on ground, we had Lucas Essenwanger, Hartley Russell, and Fraser Maris.
Yes.
Getting a nod.
So very, it was good to see Corangamite getting a few there. Seb obviously stepping up to lead his young side. He's obviously the Corangamite Lions, so their age is quite spread, but Seb steps up, plays juniors, and then he puts on the shirt to play seniors straight away as well. So like I said, there's a few like I've said in previous week, there's a few youngsters that are stepping up playing senior soccer as well, so it's great to see boys and you give your junior teams a hand as well,
Yep.
and then show for the seniors.
And it's no easy feat doubling up.
No. No, but a lot of these kids have got energy, so
Yeah,
they just want to run around and keep playing and showing us off, I think.
All hyped up on Red Cordial, no doubt.
And I'll talk about some of the juniors in a minute that played seniors, but just to cap off the rounds 5 here at Harris, we got the Hamilton Raiders on top with Merri Stingrays second.
G-Flat Rangers holding on to third spot at the moment. Scott's Creek Lions still trying to find that win, but by the sounds of this last game, it's going to be coming.
Yep, we have
week to week. So
we've got a week's rest before the final rounds played after the long weekend, the Queen's Birthday long weekend here in Victoria. However, the games will be played Hamilton against Warrnambool Lions at Hamilton, so it's a big ask for the travelling team. So good luck to the Lions on that one, and then there'll be the local derby between the Merri Stingrays and G-Flat Rangers here at Harris Street Reserve. Good luck to all the players for that round. Senior football now. We had another twilight game here on the Friday night football, and this time around it was between the Thunderhawks, who were sitting nicely at had gone to third position in the table after their win against Lions in round 6. In round 5. But now, interestingly enough, round 7 they came across the leaders. Here at home, Hamilton travelled on a Friday night, brought a squad down, and it was a terrific game. It was very close, but the game went to Hamilton in the end, winning the game 2-0. The scores at the halftime were 1-0 to Hamilton, and the final score was 2-0 to Hamilton. Interesting enough, it was a very tight fought game. A few cards came out of for this one. Yeah, Stan Branch had the cards ready. So there was a booking for Anthony Hilton from Hamilton Raiders. And also there was a booking for Gil Malabar and Hartley Russell for the Thunderhawks. So 3 yellow cards given out on that day. But the scorers for Hamilton, Mal Grimmer scored in the 33rd minute, and then Anthony Hilton, Harrison Hall, young Harrison Hall, scored just 5 minutes after the restart, the 49th minute there, to give Hamilton a stronghold. With the Hawks having shots, hitting the post, testing out Ralph Barrington goals, but it wasn't to be their night, unfortunately. So Hamilton, at that point, jumped to the top of the table. Because they were playing Friday night football before the other games. Named in the bests for the Raiders, Anthony Hilton, as well as Arabas McCarthy and Mika McCarthy, the 2 brothers there getting in the bests from the local referee, which was Stan Branch. Congratulations, boys. Yeah. Named in the best for the Hawks, we have Nick Johnson, fantastic player. We miss you at the Stingrays, Nick. So. But congratulations anyway with the Thunderhawks there. Karen Silva, congratulations to Karen. She actually had a shot on goals that could have had the opening for the Thunder. And Karen, this is only her 3rd match here with us in playing the seniors. She's here training with the girls at the moment, but she's really enjoying her football at the moment. So, congratulations, Karen, you got on the votes. And their captain and leader, David Yates, also among the best there. So that was Friday night football. We move on to Sunday. First game of the cup was between the Merri Stingrays, between Dick Dragons and Merri Stingrays. This was Dick Dragons' home game. So my team,
you're saying
2 losses in a row.
Why wasn't I here last week, folks, to keep this guy grief, but
you give me grief any time.
I'll give you grief all the time anyway.
But it wasn't to be this time. The Dragons, last time, history didn't repeat itself. The Dragons got their first win of the season against us in round 2. but it wasn't to be this time around. The Stingrays came firing with 3 quick goals in the space of 10 minutes, with James Skinner recording a hat-trick. One in the 3rd minute, one in the 2nd minute, one in the 3rd minute, and then one in the 8th minute, to really give the whole the Dragons shock value straight away.
I mean, he's quick, but that's quick.
Very good goals. On Skinner was playing on the right wing, so his favourite wing position, and we had Big Engin as a target for this game. It was Engin Torun's last game with the Stingrays for a while. He travels to Turkey. So cheerios, Engin. I know you're watching this video right now over there in Gallipoli, I believe. It might be, that's where he's heading. Then Turkey. So
get some followers for us, Engin. We'd be really appreciative.
I don't know how to say hello in Turkish, but I say shalom. That's something. That's Jewish, Hebrew. But he was there, but his last game, we put him up front. Yep. We were looking forward to Indian scoring against. Not bad luck, Engin, but plenty of other scorers for the Stingrays go on the score sheet. So in the 11th minute, Michael Mills, our captain, got on the score sheet to make it 4-0 by the 11th. Then Tolga Merrick, our other Turkish connection, got one on the 17th. Then Danielle Busaglo. We'll be talking about this goal for a long time, but Danielle scores a header goal from a Tolga Merrick cross, where she actually rose over her defender and gone straight in and met the ball perfectly for a powerful header. And she was wrapped.
Sounds textful, Carl. Sounds like a textbook.
It was. It's her birthday tonight as well, so we're celebrating Danielle's birthday too. But that goal certainly was on her bucket list for a while, I believe. But it was a great header to get us, I think it was a 6th goal at the 40th minute, and then the Stingrays again. In the 42nd minute, Sam Blackburn scored it to make it a 7-0 half-time score. The Dragons obviously were, heads were down. They weren't able to keep up with us at the moment, but given that the Dragons have a few players out, Jacob Sargent was out for this game, Campbell Scott was off, and he was the main difference between the last time we played. He saved a lot of shots from our players. But in saying that, Chris Bellman originally started in the forward line, and he played the second half in defence, and that's why it was only sort of the score one didn't blow out. Was really Chris control that defensive side for the second term. Timmy White, who was actually here, made his debut for the Dragons as well. Timmy played forward, had a couple of chances to score, but it wasn't to be on his debut. But the Dragons are very happy to have Timmy on board, so he's now a Deakin Dragons player. There was only 2 goals in the second half, scored by Tolga Merrick again on the 65th, and then Sammy Blackburn, congratulations, bagging his 2nd on the 82nd minute. No real highlights here for the Dragons, except that, as always, Lara Almirano plays a really strong game, and it was good to see that she was named in the best for the Dragons, along with Chris Bellman and Cameron Jennings. Cameron, congratulations. I know it was a hard game for a goalkeeper, but you played what I believe to be a strong game, and it was certainly kudos to you and to the other young boys who played for the Dragons, Connor Bellman and Liam Drake and Levy Gannick. Those boys were certainly making a difference for the team.
Chin up, boys. All girls. It's a few of them.
Yeah, a few of the girls, but there was only one playing today, so on that day. So it was just Lara playing for the Dragons.
Persevere. Hopefully that second one will find it to your doorstep.
Yeah, interesting enough, the girls were named the best for the Stingrays. Danielle Busaglo, congratulations, you were named one of the best. Declan Irvine, our goalkeeper, played a strong game.
Clean sheet.
Okay, played a clean sheet, and also they were attacking players from the Dragons that he made sure it wasn't going to happen. So congratulations, Declan. And Ish Rupanga, our midfield player, who referee had eyed off as one of the best. So that's the second game of the seniors. We move on to the final game between Scotts Creek Lions and Jet Flight Rangers, who were at the time top of the table. before this round. Hamilton had just snuck in, so anything could have happened here. The Lions were looking to upset the league leaders, and they were on their way. They were on the way because they didn't score the first goal, but an own goal was awarded to them. So an own goal, so to give them a bit of a lead, but then they didn't score again because it was all Jenny Flag. CMO's team were on fire. The scores at the half-time break was 1-4. 4 to Jenny Flag, 1 to Warrnambool. So 5 goals scored from the Rangers. But then the second half, there was an explosion of goals with another 8 scored by the Rangers. So to make it a 12-1 win for them to consolidate the top of the table position going into the break. So congratulations to the Rangers, led again by Ellen Wines. Was she at the game?
Number 6, I see.
She
yes.
was
Yep.
captain. So Ellen again leading her team to victory with goals to Lee Hunter, who recorded 2. Michael Romans got 4. Well done, Michael there. Tom Saville 1. I haven't heard what kind of goals there were, but if they're anything like last week's goal, Tom, that everyone's talking about, I'm sure we have to talk about it. Last week's goal from the halfway line. Apparently, he just hit it low.
I heard it was Beckham-esque.
He was Beckham-esque.
Beckham shirt tonight.
Tommy Saville's got a bit of talent there with his right foot, so he's on the score sheet again. Jason Sutton scored 4 goals to consolidate himself as the leading goal scorer of the league at the moment. So Jason, you're on there, you're on top. And 1 own goal for the Rangers. Best name for the Rangers were Michael Romans. You can read the other players.
Yeah, we've got Tom Southall as well named as best, along with hard to go past Jason Sutton picking up 4 as well. So those 3 named best for the Jetty Flat Rangers. For Scotts Creek Lions, Louis Guy again on the best, Seb Hill and Jared Lenahan named as the best players.
Yep, Jared, they call him Turnip over in Scotts Creek. So Turnip.
Turnip Lenahan, I'll try and remember that Turnip.
We have to call you by your nickname or your moniker. So yeah, that was the score, 12-1 to the Rangers, which means that the Rangers got back to the top of the table to lead after round 7.
I mean, I'm happy that we did pick up the win, but I can't help but go a few weeks back when we first met Scott's Warrnambool as they were known, and they were able to put up a very competitive game. It's just interesting. It just makes me wonder what's happened in that time frame.
Well, 4-1 at the half. I mean, it wasn't too bad, but yeah, to lead in the second half, obviously was a one-way traffic by the looks of it. But without us actually being there to see it, we don't know what happened. But if anything, GFL Rangers are putting a lot of goals in against all oppositions, not just the Lions. They've put 6 plus my team, and they've put quite a few against Deakin and the Thunderhawks as well. So you're a very attacking team, Simon. You've lost your number 1 keeper, James Penny has moved back to Melbourne for other reasons. So we'll be missing James. So it's a cheerio to you, James, if you're watching this back from Melbourne. But which means John Miles has to step up in goals, or gentleman next to me will need to sort of step up and keep the goals scorers away from him.
Might have to get some more contact lenses, we'll see.
Yeah, you need to get some training in. But, so Jenny Flat Rangers moves on top with 18 points, ahead of Hamilton, who are also on 18 points, but the Rangers have a better goal advantage. Merri Stingrays moved to 3rd after that win against the Dragons, with the Thunderhawks staying in the 4th, moving from 3rd to 4th, with Warrnambool Lions in 5th and Deakin Dragons at the moment sitting in the bottom of the table there. But it's very close. in the middle of the table, in the bottom, I can see the two top teams are slowly escaping from the rest of the crowd, but anything can happen from now on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything can happen from now on. Certainly, Dairy have become targets now. All the other teams now will have to rearrange their games to play against Hamilton and Jenny Flat to see whether they can sort of hop into that top 2 position, which is the where you want to be at the end of the season to get that second chance to play in the grand final. As I said, the leading goal scorer, I believe, is Jason Sutton from the Rangers. And we don't know who's winning the best and fairest because it's a secret vote. Alright, we will know soon enough. But just in saying that, we're nearly halfway through the home and away season. Just a reminder, Simo, that we will be having a gala presentation night at the end of the season, and I'm sure we'll get a few people to host it now that there's a few people that like to get up in front of it. Simo, you helped me host the presentation night last year. We've got a couple of other people involved that want to get sort of put their hands up to help with that. The venue hasn't been chosen yet, depending on the numbers that we'll be getting, but because it's both the juniors and the seniors league, we're probably looking at a bigger venue.
That'd be good, actually.
It would be good. And the other thing that we're trying to work on is live music. We might have a live band.
Carlos on the bank on the bongos, perhaps.
I'll be doing something for sure, but there's a few musos in the club that I'm sure that I'll be tapping on the shoulder very soon to get some kind of band happening. But so that's coming up at the end of the season. We're halfway through. We are looking forward to the second the second stage of the season. We're sort of halfway through the phase 2, what we call phase 2 of the home and away. Simo, are people watching us?
I hope so. I really hope so. I haven't had a chance to have a look at the views, but I think doing just off the top of my head, we've done 7. This will be 7th episode. 6. I reckon we're probably getting close to that 1,000 views in total. Yeah.
Well, that'll be
I reckon
good.
so.
We'll keep next time when we come back.
Keep sharing.
We're going to have a break for this week. No soccer here in Warrnambool, but we'll be back in a fortnight to let you know what's going on. You know where we are. There might be some soundtracks coming through with the music. I got some good comments about some of the music I put on last week, but this time it's Simo's turn to cut the videos. We'll see what happens. Okay. So cheerio from Carlos
And Simo.
Cheers.